Iguodala. Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown. The three, steps back, crossover, puts up a three. Rebound James. Seconds. It's over. It's over. Cleveland is a city of champions once again. The Cavaliers are NBA champions.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Cavs fans, how we doing? Welcome to another edition of the Block the Shot to Stop, a Cleveland Cavaliers podcast brought to you by our good friends at BlueWire.com, where we discuss the 26-4 now Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm Tim Daniel. He's Skylar Webker in his fine new home. His new office is all set up.
I got everything set up. Well, I mean, I still got crap over there, but I still got stuff to get on the walls, but we're getting there.
Skylar and I were trying to think about the last time we did a show together, and I was wondering, I was trying to look in the intro to see if I could find it, and we did not have time for me to find the last time it was just you and me, so that's okay.
2 weeks at this point.
Yeah, it's been a minute for sure. But we'll talk about tonight. Obviously, a great win. We'll do our usual, get you ready for. We don't have a game until Friday after tonight.
Yeah, but we get our gauntlet. Our gauntlet is finally here.
The gauntlet has come, man. All those teams are playing much better. Well, except for Golden State, they just get smoked by Memphis. But Memphis does it to a lot of teams, so no one's going to really look at that and say like, "Oh, that's normal." And then we're going to talk a little bit at the end of the show. It's Christmas here in a couple days. We're going to talk about our favorite Cavs Christmas games that we remember. Obviously, I know one particular is going to come up. That is part of the basis of our podcast. But there are a few other fun ones. And I have a fun trivia question that could involve Skylar. A little giveaway ski again.
Ooh.
Yeah, so if you follow us on X, if you follow us on Blue Sky, Facebook, if you want to comment here on the YouTube channel, you'll have a chance to win a nice little giveaway. And I don't know if you saw, so we got a comment today on the YouTube channel after on the episode Kevin and I did after the Sixers game that really made my day. It was let me pull it up real quick because Kevin, this is very Kevin-esque. It's from Scott Pyfo 9736 as of 7 hours ago. Scott, welcome. Thanks for hanging out. He says, just discovered your podcast. In case you're wondering, Hockey Assist is what I decided to subscribe. So Scott, welcome to the Block the Shot to Stop. We're happy to have you. Hope you come back for more episodes. We're here every night after every Cavs game. So, Skylar, tonight was weird. It was just a
weird game
at the Rock. So I'm like, crap. I got to go to the gym. I got to get to Costco. I was like, so no big deal. Like, I'll listen to the part of the game on my headphones while I'm working out. And then the sports app pops up and says delayed. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Didn't have a chance to see what was going on. And so I go to Costco, grab a quick thing, go to the gym, and still see it's delayed. And I'm like, what is going on? And you text me, and you're like, I don't know when they're going to play. And I was like, what is this? And you explained to me they had to literally bring in a whole new basket.
Yeah.
Which
they wouldn't tell us who the culprit was. But they all kind of hinted it was Donovan Mitchell. During warm-ups, bent the rim. And they had to stop the game. They first tried to just replace the rim. That wasn't working out. So then they just brought in a whole new assembly. And then they have to like do all the electronic work and cameras set up. So it just took forever to get this game started.
So I have what you call high functioning anxiety. If my job was to be that person that had to like get all the electric set up, I'd be freaking out. I would be like, just don't talk to me. Like, give me like let me stay out of my bubble and let me figure this out because I couldn't handle it. So like, kudos to that person.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
It was a fleet of people, but yeah, still.
Yeah. Like, hey, no big deal. This basketball game is 30 minutes late and we need to get this set up now. But tonight was obviously really interesting. So a bunch of old friends came back to town to hang out and, compete. We saw good pal Colin Sexton. We saw Lauri Markkanen. We saw Jordan Clarkson. Nice to see all those guys. Glad to see they're doing pretty well. Utah was extremely competitive in this game, like really competitive. I mean, it was a 4-point game at half. They were leading a good part of the second quarter. Third quarter, I thought the Cavs were starting to run away with it. Fourth quarter, they make it a really close game again until George hits that three. And they were game. They were gung-ho about trying to make it a fight. And I think they were really good. But thankfully, once again, the Cavaliers prevail at home. And a lot goes to another big game from Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, who I have a bad bet break tonight because I took him at 33 points, rebounds, and assists, and he had 32.
Oh, damn.
That's okay because they got the win. Another double-double for Mobley, but we're going to start with someone who was inserted into the starting lineup tonight, Skylar, and owned it and was fantastic, and that's Sam Merrill. Played 24 minutes tonight, 20 points, 4 assists, 3 steals, was 6 of 11 from 3, hit his 2 shots from the line. To paraphrase for you and not to steal your thunder, his plus minus was only 2, but Sam's not there to stop a defense, stop people on defense. He's there to get some buckets. And I thought tonight with the unique lineups they had to put together with no Isaac Okoro for however long, I think Sam did his thing tonight, and it was really nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely needed the 20 points that he contributed. With no Dean Wade, I missed why Dean Wade was out tonight, but with no Dean Wade, we definitely needed the scoring piece of it. Because if you look at the numbers as a whole, 92 shots for Utah, 91 for the Cavs. The Cavs got to the line less than Utah, so definitely needed some sort of scoring difference. And even the shooting percentages were pretty similar, 41% for Utah to 47% for the Cavs, 43% for both teams from 3-point, 70% from free throws to 78%. So pretty similar lines as a total. Just needed somebody to contribute a little extra there. And Sam Merrill definitely showed that he was up for the starting role tonight.
Yeah. So Sydney says here, Dean Wade was out for knee soreness. That's all right. I think we can live with him having a day off. That's fine. But yeah, Merrill was awesome tonight. Hit 6. All of his made baskets were threes, besides his 2 free throws, of course. But I know I joked that he's not really out there to get stops. He did get 3 steals, so he did something right. Tied for the team with Mitchell tonight, and for that was cool. And of course, helped with the facilitating. The Cavs are just so good at sharing the ball, and he played his part too. Tied for second on the team in assists tonight. Tied for third because Mobley also had 4, but Mitchell had 7 and Garland had 8. So that's just typical Cavs basketball, right? Where they share the ball so well and find the open man, get that next shot, make that next pass. But yeah, I'm with
Utah's game too. Is that they are very much a pass and facilitate team. The record doesn't show it, but all of the former Cavs, 26 points for Lowry, Sexton with 24, Clarkson with 27. That team likes to pass the ball too. And I know I'm kind of jumping the gun and getting into the Utah people, but Kessler was a problem in the first half of the game. My goodness.
Yeah.
I love him. 7'1", athletic.
Tar Heel.
We have 2 of the best bigs in the league, and they were struggling to get boards.
Yeah. North Carolina Tar Heel for a year. But, counts. Yeah, they've got a lot of guys I really like over there. Not just, some of the guys who didn't play very well tonight per se, but like Bryce Sensabaugh, I like him a lot. There are definitely I think I made this joke with Kev the other day about one team, I think the Sixers, but reality, the Jazz are literally the college basketball all-stars. It's like Svi Mikhailuk, Walker Kessler, Micah Potter, Isaiah Collier, Bryce Sensabaugh, Johnny Jusang, Kyle Filipkowski. You're like, these are all all-American NCAA players all on one team, basically, who probably have the skill set to not win a whole lot of NBA games, but, can pick and choose their moments. So that's literally what the Utah Jazz are. And obviously, Lauri Markkanen's awesome. Kevin and I did a really deep dive on him the other night. Jordan Clarkson continued to be just this insanely gifted, talented scorer off the bench. My funniest Jordan Clarkson memory will always be, of course, he's traded to the team the year they go to the finals and lose to Golden State and get swept. LeBron's last year. Has no tattoos when it comes to the team.
My wife and I were talking about this. He came over, no tattoos and buzz cut.
Yep. And then all of a sudden, the season starts the next year. LeBron's in Los Angeles, and he just full on is just tatted up. It's like not even sleeve, like his neck. He's got like the thing like on his jugular. Like I'm like, dude, like, did you just seriously spend the whole off season in the chair? Like, is that what you did?
Him and J.R. Smith, man, they're just hanging out all summer.
Yeah, and JR gets cut about 6 games into the season. Ty Lue gets fired a couple days later.
Oof, that was
what a mess.
That triggered the rebuild pretty quick.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Any fond Sexland memories having Colin Sexton back in town tonight?
I think the one that always stands out to me is when I guess maybe it's not really a NBA league, but when he was in a summer league, and he's just like flexing like on defense, like just playing with that young bull energy. I do miss that, the tenaciousness, to the point where even it was sometimes ineffective. You're like, all right, guy, you're making so many mistakes because you're just so tenacious on the ball. But that tenacity that he always brought it's always just good to see him come back in town.
Yeah, and he seems to really like playing here. Had another nice night tonight, 24 points, 4 of 10 from 3. Played, did have 4 turnovers. No, sorry. Yeah, 4 turnovers. It was a minus 13 overall, but I thought was pretty decent. That team is for sure going to be in the minus against the Cavs team, who's much more talented than them. But yeah, let's kind of get back to the Cleveland side of things here. Evan Mobley, again, 20 and 10, 4 assists, 3 blocks, a steal. Just this unreal talent level that is continuing to blossom in front of our eyes. And 4 assists is one thing. How he got his 4 assists tonight were awesome. So the 2 of the Jalen Tyson specifically were...
Those are the ones I was thinking of.
Yeah, they were unbelievable passes. The one where he finds him for the dunk, and then he has that one, they're in a fast break. He's on a full run, and he passes in between 2 people, and Tyson gets the rebound. And it's unreal. His court vision, his just innate ability to run the floor. Man, he was awesome.
Yeah, he's got to be the All-Star this year. I mean,
there's no way he's not. There's just like absolutely no way.
We talked about how Jared Allen's would be the All-Star of the team or an All-Star of the team. And I don't know if that holds true as much lately. But it's got to be Evan Mobley. He's been putting together from the start of the season. He's been putting together just game after game after game. Like he is doing it on a consistent basis now.
Yeah, I think Mobley, Garland, and Mitchell are everything but shoo-ins at this point. I just think there's no way you can keep all 3 of them out the way they've played this year and how good the team's been. I think Allen, because he has taken a step back in scoring of late, which is fine, is probably battling for his spot at this point, but I still think he should get in. Obviously the favorites of like the Embiids and obviously being a front court player with guys like Giannis, he's not going to start.
Right.
But he's certainly making a case to still be there, even if it's just a little different how the other guys are doing. But yeah, man, Mobley's an all-star. There's just no way around it. Mobley should be most improved player, but we go on that tangent a little too much. Sid asks, what do you think of what did y'all think of the blue jerseys tonight? I'm a fan. I like the court. I'm a big fan, dude. I really think they did a great job with the jerseys this year. I've said in the past, I'm not the biggest fan of the last name underneath the number. I think it looks really good on these jerseys.
I just wish that they would do like maybe every other year, like keep them for more than just a year. Yeah. Especially these ones. I really like these ones. Dude, the contrast of, my wife and I were joking, like, these Utah jerseys are atrocious.
They're so boring.
Black, white, and highlighter.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
When I think of Utah, I think of highlighter yellow. I think of black. It's so stupid because as an alternate, they do wear a rendition of the purple Glacier jerseys,
which are so much better.
Just wear them. Just make them your jersey. They are hideous. I agree, but we all love them. Even when Mitchell was there, they had the classic Pete Maravich with the
sunset stripes.
Yeah, like those were fine. I don't know, man, but I thought they did. I think the blue jerseys are great. I think the presentation of the floor with them is awesome. Yes. How they kind of do like a city nights in the arena. I gotta get back up for a game, man. I'm jonesing. I'm really jonesing to get back to a game.
Now that I'm moved, like I'm so much further. Like I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I'll come pick you up on the way next time I go.
Exactly. I'll go meet you on 71.
Yeah, like just hop in the car. We'll roll. We are getting all way off track tonight, but that's okay. We're having fun. I guess we could do the usual Garland and Mitchell together. 45 points, 6 rebounds, 15 assists, 4 steals. It combined 50% from 3 at 7 and 14. They each individually were 50%. Were 15 of 29 from the floor, so over 50%. Garland particularly was 8 of 14. They are, and they both were 4 of 5 from 3 tonight. I mean, from the floor, from the free throw line tonight. And combined, only 3 turnovers. We are, Skylar, with how well this season has gone. I mean, they're 26-4. We have joked about we're running out of ways to say these two guys are so good. But they're still finding ways to show us how they are still so good. And tonight, just their ability to be in a close game where I know they won by 11, but it was not an 11-point game most of the night. Just their innate ability to just kind of hold onto the ball, not get the offense in trouble, keep everyone together. Garland did such a great job when he needed to, just picking and choosing when to take the air out of the ball and then when to put it on the deck. I thought those two are for sure the driving force, and Evan Mobley for sure is the one who kind of reaps the benefits of having those two guys. But those 3 alone, I mean, what they're doing right now. I know you got a little hot water earlier in the year when you said that you would take our 3 over Boston's, but I think the conversation is getting a little more interesting.
All right, I'm notorious for getting way ahead of my skis.
You are, but I love you are getting over your skis. I absolutely love that you are.
But so far, everything that I've gotten ahead of, like everybody's now starting to come around and see, like, all right, this guy knows what he's talking about. I mean, to the point where
humble brag.
Look at this narrative. The national media narrative was Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland can't play together. They can't play together. They can't figure. Like, how silly does that narrative sound right now?
For sure.
Like,
absolutely.
That's how well these
even Mobley and Allen, they can't play together. They're both they play the same position.
Yeah, like look how silly these narratives sound now. That's how well these guys are playing together. Is that like the thought of that they can't do it together? It's silly.
It is silly. I completely agree. I just feel like with what those two are doing right now is the reason the Cavs are where they are. And Mobley's obviously been tremendous, and 1,000%, as everyone knows, I will never say a bad thing about Evan Mobley. But I think for him to kind of have the benefit of having those two guys has been so nice for what he's doing this year. It's been awesome. So kind of going real quick, do our bench touch in like we normally do. Another nice night for Karras, 11 and 3. George, another nice night, 8-7 and 3 assists, had a steal. Jalen Tyson, although only played 6 minutes, his 6 minutes mattered tonight, man. He was really physical defensively. We already mentioned he was the recipient of those 2 really nice assists from Mobley to get 2 really good buckets. I thought, even though he was only out there for a limited time and it was in the first half, I thought he kind of made his name known pretty well tonight.
Yeah, That was the thing. Yeah, I didn't know that Dean Wade was out. So when Tyson got in, I was like, wow, I didn't expect Tyson to get in this game. But he's still,
especially so early.
He made it an impact on those 6 minutes. Just showing the depth of this team. Even our two-way G leaguer is contributing. I'm running out of ways to say like just how good this team is.
Yeah, which is a fun problem to have, is finding new metaphors every night. You would much rather take that than them being 4-26.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine being a Wizards podcaster right now? What do you do? What do you say?
Especially with a team without direction, like Utah, they're mediocre, they're floundering, but they have a war chest of picks. They have so much cap
They have
space.
a great coach.
They have a great coach. So they have a direction, which is
Yeah.
great. Can't say that about some of the other bottom feeders in the league, like the Wizards.
Yeah. The Nets are better than they should be. They probably are kind of realizing that and are like, all right, we got to start moving some guys.
They got good guys.
Yeah, they do. So I've been calling this year, all these bottom feeding teams, I've been calling it, they're all playing capture the flag. And so Utah is definitely in the contest for capture the flag. But I think
with their own pick or somebody else's.
Right. That's the thing. Yes, Sydney says you bring out your whiskey cup every night if you're a Wizards podcaster. True that. Just so we're clear, I am not doing booze tonight. This is hot chocolate that Grace made for me right before we went on air, and it's delicious.
I got booze. It's a Bone and Branch. They're a brewery in Dayton. Super, super good stuff.
It's Christmas time. I think we're in the right. So, but yeah, man, the bench once again really deep. Ty Jerome wasn't his best tonight, and they still kind of managed to be pretty solid. With not getting a whole lot from him. I thought, curious if you caught this, and if you were paying attention to the game. I know your son kind of goes down for bed at night during the games, but they played a press conference clip from Kenny talking about Georges Niang, and I thought it was a great clip where he talked about.
Saw this.
He said, he's like, obviously it's going to be a little different. He's like, but he is going to play because he is invaluable. We need him. Is basically what he said. And I've mentioned this a few times already this season. George, since he's been a Cavalier, has never missed a game. And it's a really, really impressive feat, especially in this day and age in the NBA. But also just the spark he brings this team. You and I have had this conversation. No, Kevin and I have had this conversation about, we thought if they do go get that third big, that Georges Niang will probably be the guy who gets moved. And now I don't think that's the case. I think that with the way Kenny speaks about him and how valuable he is to this team when they need someone to come off and give them a spark on the bench, he is playing out of position defensively like a little bit because he is playing a lot more 4 and 5 because of the big situation. But man, just another really, really solid night from him to really help this team kind of get another big W and kind of hit the dagger shot tonight.
Yeah, he was the person that put the coffin nails in. I think the only reason that he gets brought up as like the trade piece is because he has the contract,
right,
to do that. Because the Cavs don't really have anybody in that mid-tier range that's flexible enough to go get somebody other than Niang. But just with what he means to this team, yeah, I don't know if you do. You got to find another way to make it work. And I don't know who that's going to be or how that's going to work, or even if they do anything this year, honestly.
Right.
I mean, it's hard to justify a move when your team is 26-4 and because Boston lost tonight, 3 games up against the reigning champs.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm at the point where I would like to see them go get a third big, but I also don't know who they move to get that third big. And if they don't go get said third big, I'm content. I believe in this team. It's hard to not. 26-4. I know a lot of people want to throw out that they're a good regular season team. No, this team's good. This team is very good. This is not a fluke. This is not some miracle that they're having yet another 5-game win streak. This is who this team is. And I know it's been a little wonky with the NBA Cup schedule, and I know those 2 Hawks games are a lot back of people's heads. Doesn't matter. They get one more chance to beat the Hawks. They've moved on. They've found their defense again. Tonight they were challenged. I mean, I think I thought Utah was really competitive tonight. They were really good. They had 3 former Cavs with 20+ points, and Cleveland had to find a way, and they did it. And so give kudos to there. And Sidney says here, I think a third bid could be a buyout guy, maybe.
Absolutely. I think the Cavs are going to be very active on the buyout market.
Yeah, especially because they want to stay on the apron, like you said before, next year when everything kind of clicks in. I don't know if the Hawks would buy out Larry Nance, but I think they might because he doesn't play.
He doesn't do anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Might as well.
Yeah. I thought you were about to break into some Van Halen there. I thought you were about to be like, might as well jump.
Such a good band. I love Van Halen.
Same, dude. Same. But yeah. I'm rambling at this point, so.
I know. I'm thinking I'm just running through like my Rolodex of people that I would like to see. That would come in. They would have to come in on a minimum, obviously. But who
Larry
would be like eligible on a buyout?
Yeah, because I don't really know what the buyout market looks like. Like, I don't want Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons is probably not going to get bought out because Brooklyn thinks they can make him a trade piece.
What?
I know, it's silly. I agree. San Antonio is probably going to the playoffs. They're playing really well right now.
Yeah, they are.
I'm actually
Did you
really
see
excited.
that Embiid and Drummond both got ejected tonight?
Nope, it doesn't shock me. What a mess. I saw a joke that was like really funny about the rim tonight, and it said that's what happens when you let Paul George shoot on one rim for a half a game.
That team is a mess, man. They're floundering so hard.
Yeah, they are. But any closing thoughts on tonight before we get to Friday?
No, not really. I don't really have any much to say about Utah, but I'm got a lot to say about the gauntlet that we're about to start running through.
Yeah. City says that Drummond situation was so weird. He's probably just still really embarrassed that he got like squared up by Donovan Mitchell on Saturday. Because that was, man. I bet he knew once he hit the ground, he went, crap.
Like, trying to take his anger out on Wemby.
Are you going to watch the Christmas Day noon game on Disney Plus? How they're doing
I got nothing going on Christmas Day. All of our celebrations happen before Christmas, so we are free on Christmas Day.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of ESPN doing all this stuff they've been doing with the Disney membership with like what was the hockey game last year? They used like the big green.
Oh, right.
This year the Bengals Monday night game was the Simpsons. So they're doing it where they're going to look like Disney characters and they're going to be playing on Main Street in Walt Disney World, basically.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're going to look like stop motion claymation characters. So
that's awesome.
It's the Spurs and the Knicks, the noon game. It'll be on ESPN too. So I'll probably watch the broadcast of that game for sure. I'm really looking forward to it.
That's I want to know who they pick for like Wemby and like I want to know what characters.
No, it's the actual players themselves, but they're like made to look like they're Disney characters. So you'll see like a cartoon Wemby, basically.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it's not like the Simpsons one where it was like Lisa running in for a touchdown. Got it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Homer's not sitting Bart in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, City right here, 1,000%. Christmas will always be an NBA day for me, despite what the NFL is trying to do now. 100% agree.
I would agree
100% agree.
NFL gets Thanksgiving, NBA gets Christmas.
Exactly. Yeah, and nothing says safety for football players like playing on a Wednesday.
Yeah, that's
pretty disgusting.
That's another that's the Welcome to the Jungle podcast.
yeah, for sure. So Friday, they don't play again until Friday. They get a nice little Christmas break. They go to Denver to start this lengthy West Coast road trip that you've talked about quite a bit, starting with a game against the Denver Nuggets. Kevin and I talked about this on NBA Weekly, where I think I was a little more confident than he was, not in the sense that he didn't think they could win all 3 games, but he was more worried about the schedule and the advantage that Denver has, specifically with the altitude, where I'm was going the route of. They already crushed all three of these teams. And so starting here, Denver's the same thing. They're starting to look a little better. They're getting more competitive. I'm not a believer. I talked about this. It's Jokic and 4 of his friends, and that's basically what they're doing. And guess what? He's good enough to win with 4 of his friends. But Jamal Murray's in and out with injury. Michael Porter Jr. sounds like he's going to be shopping around for some assets, such as Zach LaVine. And
I heard that.
Yeah, right now they're up 3 on the Suns in their second quarter, but they have played better. I just still think that if the Cavs can manage the altitude, I like them to win the game.
I think you shared it in our group chat that the Nuggets when Jokic is on the floor versus the Nuggets when Jokic is off the floor.
Yeah, it's insanity.
Is bananas. They're like the top
first
3 teams
Cavs LeBron. League. Yeah, it's first Cavs LeBron.
Oh,
yeah.
It's absolutely what it's like. I like their chances. The only caveat I'll say, because you said that they've beat these next 3 teams already. They beat all those teams at home.
Right.
So let's see what it is, outside the Rock, going to Denver, to Golden State, to LA. I think they have a good shot.
And Dallas.
Against Golden State and LA. I think Denver might be the only, could go either way, I would say. Just because LA's got, or not LA, just because Denver's got wings.
Yeah.
That's really it. They got wings and Jokic.
Yeah, I will say schedule-wise, I don't love playing LeBron in the second game of back-to-back where you're traveling. That's not ideal. But, I mean, they're definitely a better team, and they're better than all 3 of these teams, and they've already shown it. And they got then the Mavs you have after that, who have played really well of late. So you see another old friend in that game, an old Kyrie Irving, who is having an all-star year. He's been tremendous. And Luke is Luke, obviously. It would matter, when he is playing. So it's going to be a really interesting 4-game road trip. You get 2 of those.
Just to catch your breath against Charlotte and then face OKC. So it's like a 6-game trip or 6-game window of a gauntlet.
Yeah. Thank God for that Hornets game. So you go to those 6 games. If you get out there 3-3, I mean, you did your job. I mean, those are 3 tough. Those are 6 tough games. You get out 2-4, you did your job. But anything worse than that is a failure. But also you have so much leeway with your record. You can have a bad trip. You can have a bad road trip and still feel okay with where you're at in the season. You just can't lose all 6.
I feel like these Cavs though, I feel like they would take a bad road trip personally.
Yeah,
they are playing so well. Like nobody thought they'd be 26-4. 31 games into the season, 30 games into the season, 26-4. Like that's nobody had that. Nobody guessed that. So I think they would take a bad road trip personally.
Who do you think will lose more games this year, the Cavs or the Browns?
Browns.
I think you might be right. I mean,
at this pace, Browns. I don't. Think
what if it's
a
push
game this year?
I mean, yeah, because that would be 3-14. So if the Cavs go 68-14, it's a push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a Cavaliers podcast. We're not going to talk about the dirty Browns.
Yeah, just a little fun banter. Just anything where we can make fun of the Browns.
DTR game this last week.
That was fun.
I mean, I don't know what you want as far as a Browns fan. DTR and Jameis Winston.
Yeah, joy.
And then Deshaun Watson. Yeah. I mean,
it's not good, man. It's not good. So I'm excited to see how they match up Friday. Like I said, to kind of start this trip. But I wanted to do this because, of course, it is our final episode before Christmas. And the Cleveland Cavaliers are a team who has had their fair share of Christmas Day games. And I want to kind of talk about a couple in particular. But I did mention a giveaway. And so this is how this will work. I will be picking a certain item off Fanatics. I have not decided what it is yet. And I will ship it to some loyal listeners. And I'll do this even. I will go. If you can be one of the first people to contact us on Blue Sky at BSS Cavs, on Twitter at the Block the Stop, or on Facebook or our Facebook page, Instagram, here on YouTube, and you can make a comment here for a trivia question, which I've already told you the answer. I'll put your name in a hat, and we'll see if we can get you a nice little gift, or multiple people a gift. It's the holidays, people. We're in the giving spirit. So, the Cleveland Cavaliers played their first Christmas Day game in their inaugural season in 1970. Who did they play against? Who was the opponent that day? That's the trivia question. Get back to me on any of the socials like we mentioned. Skylar will be eyeing the X account to see what pops up there if we get an answer in there as well. So we know the answer. It's up to you to find it now.
How about that? I'll up this. If you have the correct answer and follow us on YouTube or are subscribed to us on Spotify or Apple, I'll throw in a Darius Garland jersey.
Holy shit! You went way harder than I was.
I got a spare one here. When we were cleaning out a bunch of stuff, I got a spare Darius Garland jersey. Tags are still on it and everything.
That's dope.
Yeah. So
all right.
I'll throw that in.
All right. Look at that. So Merry Christmas from the Block the Shot the Stop for sure. But yeah, I mean, obviously, yes, in 1970, City's gonna get it. I mean,
yeah, she's gonna, yeah.
So obviously, the LeBron eras, they played on Christmas Day every year. He was a Cav, and had a lot of really, really great games. But one that I really love, and I really want, I wish Kevin was here, because it was something where all three of us are like, we're different points in our life. LeBron's rookie year, Kev was like just becoming an adult. I was a teenager. You were very little.
I wasn't that little. I mean, I was in like
10?
5th or 6th grade, but yeah.
You're 10?
Mm-hmm.
I was 13. But they play Orlando that year, and they lose in overtime, but it's LeBron versus Tracy McGrady, and Ty Lue's playing for the Magic at this time. The Magic are wearing their black with the blue pinstripe jersey. The Cavs are wearing the white jersey. They're in Orlando, and it was a baller game. So that game was sick. They go to overtime. I think LeBron had 35, McGrady had 41. It was like one of those kind of games. But that's one of my all-time favorite ones.
That's a good one. I think mine's got to be 2017, the year after the championship year. Golden State gets Kevin Durant.
His first game in the rivalry.
That was our first game against Golden State on the year. And we win that game. Richard Jefferson has a dunk over Kevin Durant.
Klay Thompson. Yeah, he just murdered
Klay Thompson. That's who it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then that was just a fireworks game. There's so much emotion. I remember watching that game at my grandma's house, and nobody in my family are huge basketball fans. So I had the game on, and everybody huddled around the TV towards that fourth quarter, like, holy cow, this is an exciting game, because it was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But the Cavs eked out a win that year. Didn't eke out the championship that year, but that was a fun Christmas Day game. And they had the best jerseys, the like scripted text.
Incredible. Those were so good.
Those were so good.
Yeah, Nike really won big that day, because it was the debut that day of the LeBron 14 shoe and the Kyrie 3 shoe. Both debuted in that game. So they won big that day for sure. Yeah, like you said, so this is the last year of Adidas they went out with a bang on Christmas Day with those jerseys. I never see them on eBay or anything, because I always wanted a LeBron one for my collection.
Yeah.
But yeah, you never see it. And then, like you mentioned, so the Richard Jefferson dunk. There's the one sequence in the game where it's like LeBron slips and Durant's by himself and gets a dunk. Kevin Durant has the inbound, and Kevin Love has the inbound pass, goes all the way down to the court, and LeBron gets the dunk.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then, of course, Kyrie gets the game-winning shot again over Klay Thompson this time. That game rules, man. I actually done back when we had 48 minutes, when 48 minutes was around during COVID, and we were just like, what do we talk about? We did a week where we did what's called Cavs vs. Warriors week. And our 3 shows that we had on the network all did a different game from that era. So we did Game 7 of the finals, Christmas Day, and we did 2018 Game 1, LeBron 51-point game when they ended up losing. And I'll find those and I'll send them to you. They're pretty good, actually. I
I would love to.
I might find them and just pull them up and put them on here as like here's this fun thing. But I think Kevin and I kind of talked about over the summer. We might just like do something, the 3 of us, and just like Mystery Science Theater 3000 it and just watch the whole series.
I would love that.
We should do that.
I would love that.
Yeah, I would absolutely love that.
That 2017 Christmas Day is forever like the best Christmas Day game ever.
Yeah, certainly better than the next year's one when Dwayne Wade is playing for the Cavs on Christmas Day.
I remember that one too.
That team was
Dwayne Wade, D Rose.
I saw that team live. It was my first time I ever went to the Q. Was that team?
Yeah.
Yeah, they played the Bucks, so it was like the beginning of the Giannis renaissance.
Right. Yeah,
it was awesome.
I also saw that team before they traded off everybody and brought in kind of all the young guys, Nance and Clarkson and everybody like that.
Yeah, George Hill.
Yeah, George Hill. That was it.
Who, thanks to J.R. Smith, will forever be like, okay, I'm fine. When really he should not be whatsoever.
He definitely he's guarded by J.R. Smith's just I don't even want to talk about it. It makes me so mad.
No, but I love JR so much that I'm like, it's okay. Because without JR, the block doesn't happen.
That's true. Yes. They back when sports science was a thing, they had an episode about like how that play developed and how LeBron getting to that ball is nearly humanly impossible. To anybody on YouTube, you should definitely check that clip out. It's amazing.
I miss sports science, man. It was so good.
So good. This was the best shows I really ESPN's ever put out, but
yeah, for sure. Well, we are over time. We never go this long, but I just want to make sure we got a little extra conversation in there. It's been too long since Skylar and I have been on a show together, so we had to like get it all out there. But we're gonna go and wrap this up. Thank you all so much for hanging out. It was a lot of fun. Obviously, have a great Christmas. We're so excited where things are with this team. We're going to look forward to having these couple days off with our families, with our kids, and get to enjoy that before we're right back at it on Friday. And pretty busy next week with 2 big games as well. I want to go ahead and get it out there. The Lakers game, we are not going to be live that night. We're going to be live the next morning because who's going to listen at midnight on New Year's Eve to a basketball podcast?
Sydney will.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But everyone have a good one. Merry Christmas. Go Cavs, and we will see you all soon.
All right, go Cavs. You already stole it from me, but go Cavs again.